Dr. Mark Sherwood joins us right now to dive into drug prices that continue to increase. We're seeing numbers as high as 7% year over year. Is this right? And are we going to get a blame of supply chain on this one as well, Dr. Sherwood?
I think it's not right. First answer. Second, I think we're going to probably get a blame on everything. But if you look back historically, this is something that's happened routinely over the course of the last several years. And, there's multiple reasons that could factor into it. But this is not a surprise, unfortunately.
I got a couple of drugs that I take. In fact, one of them is $300 a month with the coupon. Then I have another drug that I take that's $4.50 a month. I can't figure this out. I just can't figure it out because they're both plentiful.
Yeah, I think it goes back to there's no regulation on it at all. And that's the unfortunate thing. When you look at this, there's no one that sort of reins it in, if you will. And I think probably it boils down to several things, inclusive of the ability of drug manufacturers to market directly to people. And, of course, that costs money. And so you can drive up the cost, and as long as we pay for it, they still maintain control. And there's just not a lot of regulation here.
Mm-hmm. Well, and Doc, we've tried to tell Hal that the blue pill is not a necessary everyday pill, but he continues to buy it.
Stop it.
Mark Cuban, who owns the Dallas Mavericks here in our neck of the woods, has created a company called Cost Plus Drug Company, which he claims eliminates the middleman, no price games, and huge drug savings. And when you look at some of the drugs that he throws out there, a generic for Albenza, a retail price of $437.68. He sells for $33. Have you looked into this, and could this be kind of the wave of the future?
Yes, and yes, it could be, because anytime you cut out the middleman, middle persons, middle entities that we have here, you're going to cut away some of that ability of them to continue to. Well, it's really price gouging. So the bottom line is I appreciate what he's trying to do to make them more accessible. And I do think that that's going to be a wave of the future, because we know clearly right now that the box we're operating in is not working. And that, in one hand, is not a good thing. On the other hand, it gives opportunities there for some people to think of another box, and that sounds like what he's done.
How many middlemen do you think there are from the time it gets into the the bottle to the time it gets to the house? How many middlemen are there?
Oh my goodness! Obviously, there's probably several between the drug manufacturer and the consumer, inclusive of the pharmacy manager, insurance companies. Those are going to be, in my view, the two biggest ones, and they're the ones that are going to get the majority of the profit, because you can ask any pharmacist, do I make money off of drugs? And the pharmacist is going to say, well, of course not. I don't make any money off those things. So then that would ask the reasonable person, well, who does make the money? And it's got to go back to the drug companies, because they're the ones that are bombarding our airways with commercialism. And, of course, right, wrong, or indifferent, that costs a lot of money. So I suspect that's probably where a lot of the research and advertising is going, right there.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Sherwood, thanks for this. We got to keep our eye on it. There's not much we can do, though, is there? I mean, other than shopping around?
I think the best thing to do, and this is a different angle, men, I think that we should probably do our part to work with practitioners to work on properly prescribing so that we make them unnecessary. In other words, healthy lifestyle is always going to be best, and we're not born with medication deficiencies per se. We just kind of have gotten used to sort of using them without the other angle, how to get off of them appropriately.
Dr. Sherwood, Mark Sherwood, thank you for the insight there.